Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the on-air version of us, because we basically did these reviews off camera.
We were just gonna like recap what happened in the episodes, and we ended up talking a bunch for the last 20 minutes, and we could have just done that as the review. But anyway, here's the actual review of Death Note episodes 18, 19, and 20, which came
Yeah.
out.
I'll look it up. Well, you introduce yourself first while I look it up. I'm Owen Finch.
I am Alan Talent, AJ Talent, whatever my name is.
All right.
Next here is the owner of this fine YouTube channel, Owen Finch.
So, starting with episode 18. Sorry, it feels like we're doing this in a rush, but we're on time crunch now. So, we're not gonna like rush these reviews, but like we're not gonna like talk as much and like bullshit. So,
Try to get to the point.
So this episode is called Ally, which kind of ties into the episode. So there you go. This episode came out in Japan on February 13th, 2007, and the episode came out, the one we're watching in English, on February 22nd, 2008. So almost a year apart from each other. It's like I think that all of these episodes come out like a year and a week towards each other, which is kind of funny to me.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
So let's talk about episode 18 again. So the episode opens up with, this is the first time we're seeing them meet at the new headquarters, because we see Azawa come in, and we see that it's very highly secure. It has very high security. Like he has to take his pants off just to get into the building. So kind of shows, like, you think like too, like airports and stuff, how highly you're gonna see that if you
Imagine doing this every day to go to work.
Yeah. So what you probably do if you work at an airport now, if you think about it. But
oh yeah, probably. I think Aizawa even says like, "Oh, I hate having to do this every day." So it shows like they've been there. They've been going there for a while now.
Which I kind of like. Would it have been cooler if they had just shown the first meeting? Maybe, but I feel like it's kind of nice to kind of.
This doesn't waste any time. Gets right to it.
Yeah, especially too. I don't think this episode would be like as good as it is. If it was the first time. So and they mentioned too that Aizawa and his like wife and stuff have been kind of fighting lately. So he
hasn't been like at home as much because he's been so busy with the Kira case.
Yeah, and he's got like a cut on his forehead, like his wife like hit him or something. So and we're mentioning that because that ties in to this episode later on. So
yeah, what Aizawa was dealing with. But we cut to Matsuda and Chief Yagami watching the monitors of L and Light and Misa in their room.
Mm-hmm.
And Misa's mad that L's always hanging around.
Yeah, and I did like the jab that Misa like doesn't want to eat cake because models don't typically do that. And L's doing it, and she kind of takes a jab at L by saying like he's just gonna get fat, and L takes a jab at her by saying you don't get fat if you continue to use your brain muscles. I thought that was some nice jabs they were throwing.
Yeah, like she's dumb basically, which I mean he's right.
Yeah. I mean, I bet too it's because L probably does some type of exercises too. Like it's not like he's eating all this cake and not exercising. I kind of like that.
He's pretty skinny though, so.
Yeah, I kind of like too that it shows like I feel like this is like a little thing to kind of show like because we'll talk about it how depressed L is because you see that he eats more and more by each episode. It kind of shows like that this Kira case is kind of really getting to him in a way.
He eats a lot of sweets though. Like in every episode, he eats like a ton of just candy.
Yeah, but I feel like the more like the Kira case gets to him, the more sweets you see him eat. So
right. Because later in the episode, you see him just like fill his coffee cup completely with sugar cubes.
Yeah. So Light and L have a conversation, and pretty much L's kind of admits that he's depressed because he really wanted Light to be Kyo in a way because now he feels like that he was Wan and he's never really been Wan before.
Right.
Which
and also like he thinks like they can never even catch Kira and that it's pointless because if the power really does pass along to people, they'll never really find the source.
Yeah. So this pisses Light off, and he
he spent 2 months in a jail cell for this shit. So Al's just like, I don't really want to do this anymore. He'd be, understandably mad.
Yeah. So we finally get the physical confrontation that we all wanted, where Light punches L, which is kind of awesome in a way too, because we're getting it in a way that we wouldn't think we would get it, because they don't even know that
like Al and Light are fighting, but like they don't even know that they're like enemies.
Yeah, so it's pretty awesome. And what sucks about this the most, though, is that Netflix ruined this because it's the thumbnail of the episode.
Oh yeah, so like you knew going into this that they were gonna get into a fist fight.
So it sucked that it was sport. It's not like and this isn't too something I went and looked up. Like, this is unavoidable not to get spoiled. Like,
right. And something I love about this fight. So these guys, right? They're geniuses, like super big intellect, can think 9 steps ahead. Every time they hit or kicked each other, like because they're handcuffed, when they knock the other back, like they got dragged forward too. Like he figured they would learn. If I punch them, I'm gonna get dragged to the ground too.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty damn awesome. And then Matsuda says something stupid, just to get them to stop fighting. Which that kind of ties into the next episode in a way, how they think of Matsuda and what he does.
Yeah, he's just like a big dumbass. Which, I mean, they're not wrong, but
yeah. Matsuda. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. So then they try to talk about like a new way to find the new Kira. So Light points out, we might be forgetting some things, but I'm just going to jump to this because that's like the next big thing that happens. That businessmen are starting to, die.
Big noticeable businessmen are starting to die too. And like they noticed it's only on the weekends, so it seems like to be a pattern.
Yeah. And which is and they point out like the new Japanese company. That's not really new, but it's the first time we're really like seeing it. Like benefited from it because all the customers from the other businessmen are jumping to this business. So I thought it was kind of a cool Light thing because it kind of showed that Light can bring something to this case. So they decided to bring all their attention to this business. They're gonna get all the names and stuff of who they are, and find out which guy is Kira.
And also, because they don't know that like it's a new Kira. They think that, and this new Kira is still killing criminals. So like they think that this whole time that Kira has only been killing criminals as like a diversion, and that Kira's real goal is killing these businessmen.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is we find out that this business paid off the police to back off of the Kira case. And pretty much now the people in the task force, since it's being funded by the police, if they stay and want to solve this Kira case, they have to resign from their job. So they have a tough decision now to make. And
Yagami and Matsuda decided that they will continue with the case.
Yeah, because Chief Yagami, if he just backed out now, then it's like, what did you spend 2 months in prison for? Like, exactly. And Mats
and almost shoot your son in the head.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that would be hilarious too, kind of in a way. If he's just like, "Yep, gonna get out, back it out, guys. See ya."
Yeah. Look, I'll almost shoot my kid in the head, and I'll spend 2 months in jail, but I will not get a paycheck.
Yeah. And Matsuda, I mean, he really hasn't been built up like a character enough. He can stay, I guess. We don't really. I think about the next episode would be completely different though if he had left right here. So, good thing he stayed in a way. But
I will say though that is a problem with Death Note, like the task force. A lot of these members, I just kind of forget who they are.
Yeah,
Matsuda's, I think, one of the most important ones though.
Yeah, and then Aizen, what's his name? Aizen something.
Aizawa, I think.
Aizawa.
This was like the first episode where he actually has a personality.
Yeah, because he's at a crossroads because this kind of ties back in, like he's missed so many things because of this Kira case, and now it's tough for him because now he's not even gonna get a paycheck, because I think that's kind of what was making him stay with the Kira case even more. Like he was getting a paycheck and stuff.
Right, like he wants to support his family.
Yeah.
But, really wants to bring Kira to justice. You have to figure, for them, this has been like a year-long case. He has dedicated a year of his life to this.
Yeah, but also, Chief Yagami points it out, saying, we understand you have a family, and him and Chief Yagami are in completely different situations because Aizawa, has kids are younger. He's got like a little girl, and I think he has like a baby because later on we see an episode at the Poke. It's a bit of a spoiler, but we're just gonna mention it anyways because you should have already watched the show by now.
Yeah, we're a little late to the party.
Yeah. We see that his wife is pushing like a baby stroller, so we clearly know that he has like a newborn baby. So,
we think it was a baby stroller. We're not sure.
Yeah, we watched the episode like what 2 days ago now. So, but he's at a crossroads, and I think he was just about to stay. Like I think that was gonna be his decision, but then L's butler mentions that he's been setting up trust funds in case something goes wrong, with their jobs or something like that, which probably explains like how Chief Yagami was still making money while he was in prison for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
This and L kept this from them to kind of test to see whether or not they would still be invested into the Kira case. And this is what makes Aizawa quits, because he gets pissed that L doesn't trust them enough. And I think one big thing they talk about too is throughout like these times in the task force, it's always Aizawa and L that kind of have a lot of disagreements.
He believed they should have just ended. Yeah, Aizawa was like the one who was like, we should just end this whole prison thing. Like, Light is clearly Kira. Or when the killing started up again, he was like, Light is clearly not Kira. We should just let him out.
Yeah. So, this makes him quit. And I like this scene because L always has to have the last word. Aizawa says that he hates that about him, and then L says, "It's a shame. I've always liked you, Aizawa," or something to that context. So I thought it was kind of an awesome L moment where
L's just like, "Thank you for your service, and good luck."
Yeah.
So it's kind of like L being, an asshole and just like Aizawa said, like getting the last word.
Yeah.
But also like I think it's kind of sweet that he's not even mad at Aizawa for leaving.
Yeah. So that was basically that, and then we also they kind of plant the seed like Matsuda wants to feel like he's important because Chief Yagami. Well, I guess we can't call him that anymore. We're gonna call him Mr. Yagami because he gets mad now if you do that. So, Mr. Yagami, got all the paperwork of the employees. Light's the one that found it. L's the head of it, and the butler is the one kind of helping L. So, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I think it's funny how like Watari is like clearly like like a Japanese name, but he's like a super British guy.
Yeah, I know. And so Matsuda doesn't feel like he's as important. He says and I noticed too, Mr. Yagami says I don't want to feel like dead weight, so that kind of gets to him a bit. So that's gonna tie in the next episode. So we're gonna come back to that. Basically the episode ends with the
introduction of 2 new members to the task force.
Yeah. I have their names right here. I'm gonna probably mispronounce them, but I can't. It's
these are too easy. I'm pretty sure these were like pretty Western names.
Yeah, Weddy, and Aber. I think is how you.
Weddy? All right.
Yeah. And we find out that these are 2 like criminals, but they're not like well-known criminals, so it's not like Kira can just eliminate them right away.
And they're also small time, it's not like they're working with like a big kill. Okay, well, I say they're not working with a mass murderer, but they're working with Light. So
yeah, so
they don't know that though. Avery, is that what you call them? Oh, Aber. Aber is a con man, so he's basically there to like be an actor and like pretend to be people he's not. And Weddy's a master of infiltration, so she could like get them into the business that they want to investigate.
Which that ties into the next episode as well. So, and then the episode actually ends where we see Aizawa at the park and his daughter and wife come up, and he reveals pretty much that he's done with the Kira case, and now he's going to be taking vacation time and stuff, like he's been given it. So now he can do all the things that he wanted to do with his wife and daughter. But he's upset about it because it just kind of shows like how much he invested into this Kira case, and now he can't really bring Kira to justice now. So I thought it was a nice way to end the episode. And yeah, I thought this episode was great. I thought it was very well acted. And I thought it was a nice setup for the next episode. So I'm gonna give it a B plus. I thought it was a great episode. What about you?
I give it a B plus too. Very well acted. I really like that Zawa actually has like a personality now.
Yeah.
I like how it's like a bit of like a divide in the police force and the task force.
And this is the first time they set that up. So
I like showing like seeing. We definitely see this more in like the next 2 episodes, but like Light is definitely like gaining a footing and like is on par with L still, even without the Death Note.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people might criticize like we're not really seeing like Light's plan really play out. Well, I don't know if people are, but I'm just gonna, I'm just kind of assuming because I can't talk to anybody else about this because they'll spoil the show for me.
Right,
so,
right. The show came out like 10 years ago, dude.
Yeah. So, I'm just gonna respond by saying this: they have to build up meeting the businessmen that are the new Kira. So you kind of have to do that for like the steps you have to go. You can't just like reveal all Light's plan in one episode.
Right? Because like we just learned like an episode or 2 ago that like like the new Kira is like one of these business guys.
Yeah. So you have to kind of build to that. So, but then we have episode 19, which is called.
With 19, because there's 37 episodes, we are officially halfway through the series.
Here we go.
I mean, we still have movies and stuff, so whatever.
Yeah. But we're almost done. So this episode is called Matsuda, which also ties in. Huh?
Matsuda.
No, it says Matt. Oh, actually, you know what? You're right, Matsuda, because that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah, it's named after Matsuda.
Yeah.
Because this episode is focused around him.
Yeah. And obviously, too, the date, just add a week to the last episode, and that's the date. So the first half of the episode, Matsuda's at like some type of like movie shoot with Miso and some other actors.
Yeah, and they mentioned earlier that because they arrested Miso and like they want her under surveillance, that Matsuda is going to be her new manager.
Yeah, and he sees that he's right outside the building of the business the business building.
Yeah,
that's new Kira.
They say the name a bunch, but like we can't pronounce it, so we're just gonna call it like the bad business or whatever.
Yeah, and he has flashbacks of him like being kind of treated like crap in a way, doing by the task force, not really feeling like he's got much to bring to the table. So he wants to feel like he's important, and he wants to go infiltrate this bad business and see really if they are the new Kira or not, which kind of ends up becoming a good thing and a bad thing. So he goes in and listens to one of their meetings, and he's listening to these 8 guys, and they say that they're gonna kill somebody. So this kind of instantly
he hears them say like kill and Kira. So
yeah,
he knew Kira was connected.
But of course, he didn't get to hear the whole conversation because at the worst possible time, he accidentally opens the door.
Yeah,
so,
I know, right? Only Matsuda, right?
Yeah. So he tries to save himself by lying, saying that he's here to have Misa be their sponsor, so that way
show up in their commercials and stuff.
Yeah, and he also presses the panic button on his belt, so that way
trigger like a signal that Al like he's in the building.
Yeah. So we cut back to that, and we find out that like Light, L, and the other members of the task force were originally planning on doing this plan, except probably not to the way Matsuda was going to do it. It's probably going to be like more intelligent, more smarter, but Matsuda kind of messed that up now because I think they'll be suspicious now because they just had this guy show up.
Also, they need to like get him out of there.
Yeah. And this is a nice moment right here because I think this was like just before they found out. But Light has like, why don't you talk about what Light has a thought? Why don't you talk about Light's thought?
Light's thought. Is this next episode? Where they?
No, this is this episode. This is this episode.
The discussion with L.
No, what Light. This is what Light thinks about.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, Light is just kind of zoning off, and he thinks if I were Kira, would I? And I had this power. If I had this power of Kira, would I kill criminals like Kira?
Yep.
And it's really cool. Just it shows like how different like Light is now than when he
Yeah.
had the Death Note.
Yeah. It's just
If you
really
want to
got.
talk more about that, yeah, because
Yeah,
I know you
it's-
really like that part of the episode.
I really like this part of the episode just because, like I said, it shows like how Light's character changed when he had the Death Note, and it's just kind of like nice irony now, kind of in a way, because like we know that that's exactly what happened. So
Yeah. Would I kill criminals if I had this power? Yes. Yes, you would.
yeah. So then kind of cutting back to the so they have to find a way to get Matsuda out of there. So I actually forgot about this. L actually ends up calling his cell phone. And he acts like he's like a
and he
friend.
like plugs his nose to make like a different voice.
Yeah, and he acts like he's like one of his friends. And he has like a typical like conversation about how they're gonna go out drinking and stuff, but he kind of asks questions in a way to kind of so that way he knows whether or not he's in trouble and stuff like that.
Hey, how's your wallet doing? Is it in big trouble?
Yeah, stuff like that.
The wallet's in big trouble. Like
yeah. So it was actually pretty goddamn cool. Like
good thing he called because he was actually wondering if Ella would even do anything. But he's being watched by two guards while the others discuss if they're gonna kill him or not.
So that's why like Al has to pretend like he's that's why Al has to like pretend he's like that his friend because we made it sound like he just did this like just for no reason like
yeah, he's being watched. If he were just alone in the bathroom, it'd be
So the 8 businessmen though are discussing whether or not they should eliminate Matsuda because even if he is with the task force nurse, they're worried that he heard too much information, so he doesn't really
yeah, and even if he didn't hear anything, it's just like better safe than sorry.
Yeah, and they're also suspicious too because like why would he show up like wanting his client to be a sponsor, not bring the sponsor with him? So they're kind
of normally you would bring that.
Yeah.
But so, he makes a pretty convincing argument by saying like, oh, she's filming a movie nearby, so she'll be by when she's done.
And luckily too, because Misa's done with like a photo shoot and stuff like that, and L calls her to kind of talk about the plan, about what she's gonna do when she goes in there. So, because too, if Misa just went in there, then it kind of without knowing that knowledge, then it wouldn't have gone so well. But Misa comes in and brings like all of like her model. I don't even know if they were really a friend. They were probably just actors that they hired or something to,
Yeah, because they seemed pretty chill when Matsuda does what he does.
Yeah. So this kind of throws them off. They have like a pretend celebration party, I guess, that they were gonna make her sponsor. So there you go.
Yeah, they just like got drunk and Matsuda pretends he's a little tipsy and then like goes off to the bathroom by taking Misa's phone.
Yeah.
And also, we forgot to mention, but like L got in contact with Misa and told him that Matsuda was in trouble, and they told him the plan.
Yeah, and L realizes that they're gonna kill Matsuda the first chance that they get. So he says that Matsuda's gonna have to die. So we think like Matsuda's gonna die because after this, there's no sound. It's just like that.
It's the same thing like what happened when L was telling Mr. Yagami the plan.
Yeah, it's just like
you just see like Matsuda like react, and he's like, "No, that's crazy."
Yeah, so I think too it went to a commercial break. Like I think either right here or I think it did it like when it. No, I think it did it like when he. No, it didn't go to commercial break. It just went to the music. And Matsuda's pretending to be drunk, and he does like he like walks the ledge of the building, and he does like a handstand onto it. And we can see that he's faking it because, like, he's nervous as hell to fall off this building.
Yeah, you can see his face, and he's like, oh, God, please don't actually fall.
Yeah. So he falls.
On purpose.
Yeah, on purpose. And he ends up hitting a mattress that they had set up for him. And I think, too, like, he was thinking, like, because this could have gone all wrong. Like, he could have missed the mat, or he could have, like, hit it with...
too hard and, like, went past it.
Yeah, so... I think he was nervous as hell.
And then Mr. Yagami throws a bag off, like make up like a blood thing, and they have Aber like put a wig on and like lay down and like pretend to be his dead body.
Yeah, this is definitely like an L plan. Like I think Light probably had some input into it, but this was mainly
this definitely has like L written all over it. Yeah.
Yeah. So and also too they pretend Light and L disguise themselves as like paramedics pretending to
It's also funny thinking like they probably didn't even need to do this because Matsuda like didn't give them his real name. He used like the alias he's been using as Misa's manager.
Yeah.
And they need a name and a face. So he leaves, they write his name down, and he doesn't die.
Yeah. But yeah, so well the problem is though, because Light putting this up, like when Wii was pretending to be when L was pretending to, be that pop star, Light could have, because maybe they would have pictured like his face, so he still would have probably died too. So
maybe I don't remember.
But anyhow, so they end up saving Matsuda. We also see that Weddy like planted like wire taps and cameras in there so they can listen in on their meetings. And Aba calls pretending to be L. And all this ties in too because we forgot to talk about.
No, he doesn't pretend to be L. He turns to be Coyle, the second greatest detective in the world.
Right, and this ties in because that's another one of L's alias names. So L has like a ton of different.
Yeah, L has is the three greatest detectives in the world are L, Coyle, and someone else, and they're all just L.
Yeah,
different names, which is kind of funny.
He's used like a ton of different aliases. Like that pop walk star, like that he told Light that he was. He's just every like.
Actually, he was in this episode because the guy Misa was about to kiss was him.
That was a nice callback.
Yeah, nice little reference.
And also another reference is when I believe Masuda's phone rings. It's the theme song. No, I don't. Is it actually? I think it's the next episode when they call when someone gets a phone call. It's the theme song to this show.
Yeah, no, it was this episode. Remember when L called Matsuda? It was the theme song of Death Note, which is really cool.
So it's like, and something we should mention too is Matsuda has thoughts too. And what I like about this is like when he has a thought, it's his color is different than like Light and L's. It's actually like yellow. So
yeah, I think that's L's is blue, Light's is red. He's yellow.
Yeah.
And the next episode, one of the businessmen, he's like purple.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty damn cool.
And then, also, I don't remember which one of these episodes it is, but Death Note has a new opening.
Yeah, I think it's the next one. We'll discuss it in the next part of it. Because we're just about to the end. So, yeah. So the businessmen are deciding, like whether or not they should trust this guy. And one of the businessmen's just kind of like, thinks this is too much. He's afraid of getting arrested now, so he wants out. But then realizes like if he gets out, he's gonna die. So he's like, no. So basically, he realizes he's screwed. So he's just bullshitting.
Yeah, he's like trying to like be like, no guys, I'm good, I'm solid, I'm not gonna freak out. But they all just stare at him, so like he kind of knew like I'm so dead.
Yeah. So
and guess what? Next time they listen in on a meeting, they note there's only 7 of them this time. There were originally 8, so yeah, they killed him.
What I like about this too is they're basically now giving away their plans through these video recordings now, and it definitely shows like they're not as smart as Light, because when he was being monitored, like Light instantly knew about it right away.
He set up things to like be able to tell if someone was in his room.
Yeah, so it definitely shows because I think even Light would have seen right through this like in 2 seconds. Like
yeah, probably even without like the knowledge of the Death Note and all that.
Yeah,
he would be like, oh, all right, cameras, gotcha.
Yep. Fantastic. I thought this episode was awesome though. I really liked how it built to the next one, and I like the Matsuda stuff. So I'm giving it an A-.
I also give it an A-.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've had like different opinions when it comes to this stuff yet. So
yeah, we've been pretty much around the same part.
Yeah.
If not like if like say you have an A-, I might have like a B+. Either way,
yeah.
Like, we're around the same area.
Yeah, so it's like just one little thing. But now let's talk about episode 20. This is when we have the new intro to the show, which I like it. I like the other one better because I just thought it fit the Death Note.
Yeah, this is like a little like out there, and I guess that's like what they're going for, like crazy and weird.
Yeah, like you see like Ryuk like going for the apple and like people pulling it away, like
And like you see Al just like spinning in a chair over and over.
Yeah, so it's definitely out there.
It's like
So
death metal music, which is kind of weird.
yeah, I actually like it. So
yeah, I like it, but like I think the other one fit better, like with all like the imagery of like light as like a god or like an angel.
yeah, but I like that they changed it up a little bit. Because obviously they can't like change it up by season because it's only one season. So,
Right.
it's nice to change it up every now and then. I just figured they would have waited till the time skip episode to change it, not.
Yeah, yeah, they did it like right before the time skip, which is super weird. Yeah, you figure they would have just waited.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they might know what. Maybe they realized. Maybe they forgot they were doing a time skip episode. It's like, okay, let's just get this out there. Wait, shit, now we gotta change it again. Like,
yeah, damn it.
But anyhow, one of you, the opening of the episode is them listening in on the business meeting,
and this is like a week later from the Matsuda episode.
Yeah, so like I said, I like it because it shows that time's passing, and they pretty much have known at this point that like one of the businessmen died. Obviously,
yeah.
I think though, like this is like when they were definite sure because obviously like maybe he was gonna take like a vacation week or something. So this is basically when they knew.
It'd be funny if that really was what was happening. They just assumed he died.
Yeah, and he was just you like see him like in Hawaii, like just chilling, like.
And he like misses the rest of the series. Like he gets away from all this.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's like that.
I want to spin off with him. What
Yeah.
he's doing.
And then you see the spin-off. He's just he gets like a phone call. We find out that they just set all that up to make it look like he just imagine he's like really the real Kira too and everything.
That'd be awesome. R.I.P. Whatever your name was.
Yeah.
My favorite character.
I don't even know his name. But anyhow, no, we're just joking around. But anyhow, we find out like they have this plan to eliminate like 7 people in a different company to benefit them, and pretty much like this is all they need to bring it to the police now. Like they can easily just go arrest these guys.
Yeah, Light's even like, is this for real? Like they're really just like telling. It's like they want us to know.
Yeah, I kind of think it's funny too. Like that, it's Light that reacts that way because he wouldn't have reacted this way like before too. Like,
And I think they're like the little like freaked out like because like they're saying like this person will die of disease, this person will die of an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really true. Like Kira can really do all this stuff.
Yeah, and it's just kind of funny.
They knew about the heart attacks, but like they weren't like 100% sure like he can like kill them in all these different ways.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice hindsight because Light. It just shows how much like Light forgets about the death note.
Yeah, it's like weird. Oh yeah, he doesn't know any of this now.
Yeah. You forget about it sometimes too because you're just so used to it. But El though wants to let these murders happen because he doesn't want an ounce of doubt that these aren't Kira.
And like all these guys are filthy rich, so it's like they'll have great lawyers and stuff. So if they say all this stuff, but like the people they're talking about don't actually die, they could probably get off.
Yeah, exactly. So this is.
Hey, I'm filming a video. Can I talk to you in a minute? Yeah. Thanks.
I'll edit that out. Yeah. Then Light. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
All right, sorry. Hey, you don't have to edit that out. He got pizza, so
yeah. So I know we gotta do this quickly, but so then El and Light, this is when El and the task force start to have a disagreement, and this is when Light comes up with the idea that he's gonna pose as El, pretending to be to talk to one of the guys and call him.
Yeah, because Mr. Uragami like found all their phone numbers.
Yeah, and he uses like one of the phone that's at the headquarters because he can't be traced and stuff like that. Right. You want to talk about that scene since I'm like.
Yeah. So they decide which one they're gonna try and call, and they.
Ice water or milk?
Hey, I'll eat when I'm done. I'm just making a video.
Okay.
Thanks. They don't want to call Kira. They want to call someone who like isn't Kira and could be like a possible mole.
Yeah.
But it's like a 1 in 7 chance that they do call Kira, so they just gotta hope that they don't.
Yeah.
they decide to call the person who seems to have the most power over the group. I don't remember his name, but they call him, and he's saying, "I'm L. Don't say anything. Just talk normal. I want to catch Kira. If Kira finds out that you're helping me, you'll be killed. If you don't help me, you'll go to jail. But if you just sit on the sidelines and give me a little bit of information every now and again, and push off these deaths for another month, we'll give you a pardon."
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I mean, I can't do anything else. It's either die, get arrested, or do this.
Yeah. And this is when too we find out that this guy like isn't Kira because he has like a thought to himself. I mean, what he thinks about, like he knows he's not. The information he gives, we know he's not Kira.
Yeah,
so.
Like he says, like if I'm found out, Kira will kill me. So like we know he's not him.
Yeah, and I like
the other guy died. It's down from 8 suspects to 6.
Yeah. So well, at least we think he died anyways. But
yeah, it could be in Hawaii. You never know.
Yeah. But I thought
just chilling with Ryuk wherever he is.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool though, like about this scene though, like it even shows like Light without the Death Note is still like pure evil because of the way he was talking to this guy and stuff like that.
Well, he's
like,
not evil, but like he comes off as like Kira-ish.
Yeah. So then they come up with a decision where like L is gonna go after Kira on his own, and the other Light and everybody else is free to kind of do whatever they want, with these when it comes to these 6 guys. So and also L says that he wants Light to pose as L if he dies. And this is when Light pretty much kind of reveals what we think is his plan anyways.
Yeah, well, a good amount of it, yeah. Again, it's like Light doesn't know about the Death Note right now, and that's like such a big piece of everything.
Yeah.
So he couldn't tell us his whole plan if he doesn't know what the Death Note is.
Yeah. So he basically, says what his plan.
Yeah, he gets pretty close to home.
Yeah, which is like I said, another cool thing. And like I talked about this, with AJ, and I've been thinking about this myself. There's clearly a way Light can remember everything again. We just don't know about it yet because it's to build suspense, which I kind of like. Like Light knew a way clearly, like that he could get his memory back because he wouldn't have done probably this plan if he couldn't. So, unless maybe he did, unless something else I don't know about. So,
I mean, hey, I won't say anything. Yeah, Owen doesn't know, guys. For those of you who don't know, he's blind to this. I know what happens.
I mean, we know Light's getting his memory back somehow. We just don't know how he's getting it back. And then the episode ends pretty much with L going to talk to Misa, and
we should probably say like what Light described. We just said he got his plan pretty close.
Oh yeah, why don't you say the description?
Light says that L's thought, and what Light guesses L was thinking was the power doesn't actually pass along to person. Light is the real Kira, and he just passed it along temporarily, and we'll get it back eventually.
Yeah. Until
he's proven his innocence. And if L dies, which is Kira's goal, he could take over as L and basically control every police organization in the world while also being Kira.
Yeah.
And that's Light was like, if I say yes to being L, then he'll think I'm Kira because that's what Kira wants. But if I say no, he'll know I like figured it out and like outsmarted him. So no matter what, L's gonna think Light is Kira.
Yeah. And pretty much like we talked about, this is basically like Light pretty much hit it close to home. Is this plan gonna happen? We don't know.
I say nothing. Lips are sealed.
And then L goes up to Misa's room and he manipulates her to talk to this mole to try to get Kira. And this is like kind of a dick move by L because this is a way now like where the task force will do things his way, the way he wants them to. Because basically like Light, even though he's on his father's side, because they're handcuffed together, he kind of has to go along with L in a way now anyways because they're handcuffed. So it's not like Light.
L even says, I know you're on your dad's side, but I still need you to come with me.
Yeah, so it's like Light's screwed here pretty much. And I think the best part about this too is this also shows how like Light's different without the Death Note because he doesn't want to risk Misa's life now in a way.
Even if he doesn't like her, like Kira like wanted Misa dead. Like if Al suggested this plan, Kira like would have been like, "Oh, sweet, awesome, out of my hair, it's good,
Yeah.
kill her."
But now it's not the case at all. So there you go. And then that was basically the end of the episode. It's a cliffhanger. We know, not really a cliffhanger, but a setup for Misa's thing that's going to happen in either 21 or 22. I'm going to guess 21. Yeah, that was this episode. I thought it was great. B+. I thought it was, a nice setup episode. So
yeah,
there
good.
you go.
B+ episode. I like seeing the scene where Light calls the business guy is probably my favorite part of this episode.
Yeah, same.
The episode flies by very quick.
All these episodes seem to. So like, what will be? Let's just say, like, we're not saying that happens. What would be a good thing is if we see a really bad Death Note episode, at least it's gonna go by quickly. Versus like a really bad movie that drags on forever.
Well, especially because these are only like 20 minutes. If this were Breaking Bad, it's like, all right, The Fly. All right, gotta sit through an hour of this.
Yeah. So, hey, Death Note can do the Fly episode if they want because
Light now need to find need to find an L in the headquarters. Find an L. Oh my God, English. L and Light need to track down a Fly in the headquarters.
They probably imagine to, and it's only gonna take them 20 minutes to do it because that's all they have. They only have 20 minutes. So,
just write the Fly's name in the Death Note. There you go.
Yeah, they don't know, and they can name the Fly themselves too. So.
Yeah, exactly. Make it easy for them.
Yeah. The problem is they don't have it. Light doesn't have it. He doesn't know about the Death Note, so it's gonna be complicated. See, this is how trolly we get. We talk about Guy going to Hawaii, and now we're talking about a Fly. So
yeah, what can you do? Death Note seems to have a good sense of humor with that opening. So
yeah. All right, so this is the end of the video. This is the second time we've talked about this episode. We're probably gonna end up doing the same thing again. So whatever.
But yeah, really solid batch episodes.
Yeah.
The next episodes will be 21, 22, 23.
Yeah. So I have a feeling what's going to happen, because like I said, we lost a few days. Tonight, we're going to watch, at some point, we're going to watch 21, 22, and 23. We'll view those either tonight or tomorrow. And then tomorrow, we're going to watch up until 26, the time skip.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to the time skip before I leave. And then after that, everything after the time skip, we'll be together to watch because I'm going to go visit him.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of interesting, like we talked about, because you've only seen one episode, really. Well,
yeah,
I guess.
And I saw the ending, so I don't really know how it gets like from point A to point B.
Yeah, so there you go. Unless you spoil it for yourself, then
Yeah, which I'll wait. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Waited 3 years for you to finish watching Death Note. I can wait a couple more days.
Yeah. Imagine you couldn't. You just like, just gonna.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, can't wait anymore.
Yeah. Like, what would? I don't know. But anyhow, thank you guys for watching. Is there anything you want to plug or promote?
Check out my channel, AJ Talent. Probably today or tomorrow, I'll be uploading a video because I'm getting my cap and gown at an award ceremony for my high school graduation. So I'll make a video just like showing that off.
And CM Brothers for the more Death Note videos and other things, and Wrestling 1444 for all the wrestling videos, and on the Talkinator for.
You're a wrestling fan? I never knew from the wrestling symbol, Undertaker, and me knowing you for my whole life.
Yeah, and then obviously on the Talkinator where we do other videos on there. So that's pretty much it. We will talk to you guys probably later on tonight.
Bye.